With an increasing amount of vigilantes and heroes roaming the screens of society, I thought it would be a good time as ever to bloviate over a film about the issues with vigilantism. So this film is Falling Down. Falling Down centers around a mentally unstable, socially isolated, and frustrated man named Bill Foster, or Defense as he is nicknamed in the film. So Defense continues to have negative interactions with a changing America, specifically a 1990s early Santa Monica. And in this film, there is social commentary that is intended to give context to the lives of others, into the mind of Bill Foster through symbolism, and an insight into societal issues as well. Many societal issues depicted in this movie are economic hardship, gang violence, racism, homophobia, homelessness, and vigilantism. So today, our main point of discussion is vigilantism. There's more to the film than just this core topic, but this is a big part of the film, I'd say. So vigilantism, in this case, represents an individual who seeks self-justice without legal authority. Banzai did a great video talking about this, and there will be a bit of overlap here, but this is more of a deeper dive into it, I'd say. So to understand our main character, Bill, I think you have to understand the film as well. Bill is a laid-off worker from the Department of Defense, or NOTEC, who has been searching for work and a way to re-enter his old life. He is socially deprived of his friends, father, and other social interactions that are absent in the motion picture. His temper and emotional abuse drove his family away from him.
In South American countries, it's still legal to kill your wife if she insults you.
So his goal is to reunite with his daughter on her birthday and give her a gift. His main goal is blocked by everyday problems, whether that's a traffic jam, construction work, or it is slowed down by false advertising, such as the whammy burger scene, and many other sequences. These little situations he gets himself involved to start out with a simple demand that cannot be met.
Get some change for the phone.
No change. Have to buy something.
Usually the situation is Bill, and then there's the unreasonable person or people. And it becomes a drawn-out situation that he eventually gets frustrated with, and reasoning and understanding fails. And so he uses violence to achieve the solution, to get them out of the way, basically, a lot of the time, or to get his product. This is something that Critical Drinker alluded to in his review. He has patience, but it is very short, and piqued interest. Did a great video about this.
Defense, his ability to reason is tied to his level of patience. It's short, but it's there.
Bill Foster's first hitch is road construction. Road construction, again, is to improve the already existing environment. The traffic that he experiences at the beginning of the film is caused by this construction. So Bill Foster has a weighing of options moment where he can sit in his broken down car that delays his journey, and he's again in a unpleasant, sweaty, noisy environment. Or he can choose ditching traffic to move himself closer to his goal. This action in itself seems pretty rational and with a lack of consequences. However, this causes further roadblock up, and eventually cops and a civilian are tasked to clean up the mess.
Just shove it out of the way. We'll get this lane moving. You push, I'll steer.
Bill's reasoning to ditch his traffic is because it is halting his progress in reaching his daughter's birthday, which again is his main goal.
It's interesting.
When a societal issue comes up that impacts him, he only chooses to intervene because it personally affects him and affected his primary goal and redirected his focus.
Defense only takes action when it personally affects him. He's not really trying to change society for the better in any other way. When the gang tries to gun him down, they actually end up hurting more members of the community that would usually be affected by gang violence. He just sort of walks by them, and when he shoots the gang member, he just walks away, not really to check and see if anyone's okay.
Bill indirectly causes a drive-by shooting after he defends himself from the gang members trying to rob him. He could have given up his briefcase, but chose the violent option. This action riles up the gang in an attempt to kill Bill Foster later on. The drive-by shooting not only causes a bunch of property damage, but causes innocent lives to be lost and killed in the interaction. This displays the more dangerous and destructiveness of vigilantism.
You
missed.
The hassle at Whammy is a representation of short-term satisfaction. Bill Foster arrives a few minutes late, past the breakfast serving time. He still commands staff to serve him breakfast. A quibble starts, and Bill Foster ends the quibble by drawing a gun, forcing staff to get him his product. He misfires at the ceiling while he coaxes people to their seats. He terrorizes customers, employees, and causes property damage.
Organize. Calm down. Just calm down, everybody. Sit down. Sit down over there. Hey.
Mister.
He concludes to buy lunch after doing a room survey. He is infuriated by the false advertising of his lunch, as he feels that it wasn't what he was promised. The Whammy and Whammy Burger is a prediction of the unpleasantness that Bill will face in the setbacks as well. Vigilantism harms people and doesn't outweigh the short-term success that Bill will have after this encounter. Many situations are like this, and rarely have no destruction from Bill Foster. The destruction varies depending on when it takes place during the film. Earlier on, Bill Foster will have more patience and a bit more reasoning, but as the film progresses, he will have less. If you continue to have bad events in your day or life, you're going to have less patience to deal with the next bad thing. Bill Foster craves to see his daughter and his ex-wife. He will do whatever he feels is justified to push aside what he perceives to block his path that leads to his goal.
Here, darling, this is for you. Here you go. There you go.
Imagine you are walking down a trail. You continue going along the trail, but a snake interrupts that as it slithers onto the trail. It appears to be dangerous, so you're unsure of what to do. I guess you have three main options in this scenario. You could attack the snake head on, take another path, or wait it all out. In this hypothetical scenario, Bill would likely to choose to face the snake head on, even at times when it may be acceptable. However, the more Bill engages with these snake-like problems, or problems in general, the more he loses. He might be experiencing short-term plans and small victories, but these victories are juxtaposed with actual people being harmed by his actions, and society as a whole being impacted. Bill's not immune to this either, as he accumulates physical injuries, he loses his patience, and loses himself to the seemingly unending issues of the world that corrupts and darkens the mind and character of Bill Foster. He's become even more fed up and done with a world that he's encountered the worst of, that is only meant to show him that society is evil, when it's more deeper than that, when there are actually good things in society and good people that are making changes. His mostly violent actions stack up against him, confirming a more negative and unpromising future for him.
Don't you want to see her grow up?
Behind bars?
He's preaching to the wrong people at Whammy Burger, or at individuals such as Mr. Lee or the homeless guy. He blames the homeless guy who has chosen to just swindle people out of their money as a job, rather than getting a job himself, as it has worked out for him. Now, Mr. Lee is not at fault for the prices because Mr. Lee's store appears to be fully stocked, and with an increasing amount of inflation at the time of the early 90s, he wants Bill to buy something. This is why he wants him to buy something, because business hasn't been doing well. Obviously, this is not very helpful to Bill or his journey, but Bill cannot see the larger picture. Mr. Lee, the homeless guy, various members of Whammy Burger, and other people in society have accepted their roles in life and the issues that have come with it. They've decided to make do with the lives they've decided to keep or have. In Falling Down, vigilantism is depicted as a cruel and selfish way to seek justice. It's shown to really only cause further destruction to society. Vigilantism presented here demonstrates a further loss of innocent lives and harm to them, property destruction, and some road buildup. To those who praise this film, acknowledge the shortcomings of Bill Foster and the film's outdated aspects. For those critical of it, consider the complex aspects of the picture. Those who haven't viewed this movie should go and watch it. For Bill Foster is a man who yearns for yesterday, struggles through today, and is unprepared for tomorrow. Future analyzers shouldn't sell their analysis as being the whole point or the only takeaway of this motion picture. There's likely much more because this is a complex and layered movie with many messages. Dig deep into this one, and don't try to fit or sell a narrative based upon a surface level or partial analysis. There's much more to life than a negative, hollow existence that fosters denigrating your own existence. This continuation will slew motivation.